Today it's time for round 3 of the 2024 recent vice president spinner battle. So far we've lost the two most recent vice presidents, the incumbent Harris and then Mike Pence. So we're down to 8. I try to keep the colors the same for consistency, and I appreciate the comments from everybody that enjoys this. I've thought about maybe trying to add some music to this, but in the end I don't think it just fit. So you came here for the spins, that's what we're gonna do, so let's get started in Alaska. They're up first and they've got 3 votes. And those are coming to number 8. It's going to be Joe Biden getting us started. Let's move along to the beaches of Hawaii. We're going to find 4 votes there, and we're going to give those 4 to number 6. It's going to be Al Gore. Next, we go back up to the Pacific Northwest. Washington has 12 EVs. And we're going to give those to number 2. That's going to be Nelson Rockefeller. Next, it's the Beaver State. That's Oregon. 8 electoral votes. We've got a 6, Al Gore, the first one with multiple states. Now we could head down to the Golden State, California. 54 votes, that's a ton. Let's do the spin. And we're going to give those to number 5. That is going to be Dan Quayle. So Quayle's sitting pretty for now. Let's go to Nevada, 6 votes. And we're going to give those out to number 4. It's going to be George Herbert Walker Bush. Let's head up to Idaho. We've got 4 more votes here. And that's going to be good enough for number 4. That's going to be another one for Bush. The next state is going to be Utah. They've got 6 votes. And that's going to go to Rockefeller. Next, it's Arizona. 11 votes at stake. That's a 6. That's going to go to Al Gore. Gore with 3 states. Montana is next, way up there. We've got 4 EVs. And it's coming to number 6. That's going to be Gore, 2 in a row. Wyoming is next. Home state of 1, Dick Cheney. Let's see if he can win it. Here comes the spin. That is a 4. That's going to go to Bush. Let's go to Colorado. They've got another 10. And it's going to be Biden with his 2nd state. Let's go down to New Mexico. 5 more votes. That's a 6. It's going to go to Gore. Now we've got the Dakotas. First is North. Only 3 votes. That could be huge later on. It's going to go to Rockefeller. Here comes South Dakota. Who's going to get him? It's going to be Walter Mondale with his 1st state. But that already puts him ahead of Ford and Cheney. Now we've got Nebraska. They break up their electoral votes. First, we're going to do at large. 2 votes. And we've got a 5, and that's going to go to Dan Quayle. Now we do Nebraska's 1st. And we've got number 7. Cheney makes his debut on round 3. Then we've got Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. And that's going to be an 8 for Biden. How about Nebraska's 3rd? Let's close it out. And it's going to be another one for Biden. Kansas is next. They've got 6 votes. And we're going to hand those to Bush, number 4. Next is Oklahoma, 7 votes. That could be lucky. And lucky 7 it is. Dick Cheney with state number 2. The next state is Texas. It's second only to California in terms of its electoral votes. Everybody's in so far except Ford. He's been completely silent. Let's do the spin. Let's see what happens. Here it is. And look at that, number 1. Gerald Ford, he was silent, but silent no more. He's going to start off with 40 electoral votes. You'd never know what the spinner has in store. Let's go to Minnesota, Mondale's home state. 10 votes, that's a medium amount, and look at that, Ford is going to go back to back after being the last one in. He's now up to 50 and just trailing Quayle. Let's keep going. Technically, Ford can tie it right here on Iowa. They've got 6 more. Here's the spin. And that was a weak spin, but that's number 1, and that is going to Ford. 3 in a row, he ties Quayle for 1st place. It's been quite a remarkable last minute for Ford. So if Ford can do it, anybody else could do it. Let's go to Missouri. They've got another 10. And that's not Ford. That's going to be Cheney. Let's go to Arkansas. They've got 6 more votes. And that's going to go to Bush, number 4. Now we go down to the Gulf, Louisiana, 8 votes. And that's going back to Gerald Ford, who's now in sole possession of first place. Can anybody stop him? Let's go to Wisconsin. 10 more votes here. And that is number 5. That's going to go to Dan Quayle. And look at that, Quayle back on top by 2. We've got a great battle here for the top spot. Meanwhile, we can't forget about Mondale, who's currently on the bottom. Let's go to Illinois, 19 more. Let's see what happens. We've got number 6. That's going to go to Al Gore. Now we've got Ford's home state. That is Michigan. They've got another 15 votes on the table, and that's going to go to number 8. That's going to be Biden. The next state is Quayle's home state of Indiana. We can wave to Mike Pence on the bench while we're here, but here comes the spin, and that's going to be Biden going 2 in a row. The next state is Kentucky. They've got 8 more. Here's the spin. And Gerald Ford, number 1, he regains the lead over Quayle. Let's see if Quayle can respond. We've got Tennessee next. They've got 11 electoral votes. And that's it. Dan Quayle does it. Number 5, he responds exactly how he needed to. And now he's back in front over Ford by 5. Great stuff. Let's go down to Mississippi. 6 more votes. Here's the spin. Just over the line for number 4. That's going to be Bush. Next, let's go next door to the Yellowhammer state. That's Alabama. 9 votes in this spin. And that's going to go to number 2, Nelson Rockefeller. Now we can head back down to the beaches. We've got Florida. We've got 30 votes. Mondale's still on the bottom. Unfortunately for him, there's a big distraction between Ford and Quayle at the top. But let's get to the spin. Let's see who's going to win all 30. That's number 4. That's going to go to Bush. The next spin is going to be for Georgia. 16 votes. And that's a 2. That's going to go to Nelson Rockefeller. Next, it's South Carolina. 9 votes. Here's the spin. That's a 3, and Mondale, finally, is going to add some additional electoral votes to his total. He's up to 12. He trails Cheney by 6. Let's do North Carolina. We've got 16 here. And that is going to go to number 5, Dan Quayle. Now he opens up a bit of a lead over Ford. Let's get to Ohio. 17 votes. Here's the spin. That is a 7. That's going to go to Dick Cheney. Mondale now trailing by 23. Let's do West Virginia. 4 votes. That's a 3. Mondale, he's on the right track. He's going to get 4 more. He's got to do that a few more times. Let's go up to the Northeast. We've got Maine at large. 2 votes. And just over the line for Gerald Ford. He hasn't cooled off yet. Let's do Maine's first. 1 vote. And slowly for Walter Mondale, he's going to add 1 more. Let's do Maine's 2nd congressional district. And that's a 2. That is going to Rockefeller. New Hampshire is next, 4 votes. Who wants him? There's another one for Mondale. He's getting hot a little bit here, but he's not getting a ton of votes out of it. He now trails Cheney by 14. Let's do Vermont, 3 electoral votes. And look at that, Mondale again. He's going back to back. These states are just not holding the big numbers. But the next one that's New York, 28 votes. This is the place to stay hot if you're Mondale. Let's do the spin. Here it is. And so close to the line for Mondale. But that's a 4, and that's going to George H.W. Bush. And out of nowhere, Bush passes Ford for 2nd and is right behind Quayle for 1st. Bush kind of just snuck up there after Florida and New York. Let's go to Massachusetts, 11 votes. Here comes the spin. That's another one for Bush. So Bush, out of nowhere, is in 1st place now. After that great battle between Ford and Quayle, there's no way I was expecting Bush to pass both of them. Let's go to Connecticut, 7 votes. Here's the spin. That's an 8. That's going to go to Biden. Rhode Island is next. Here comes 4 more votes. That is another one for Biden. New Jersey's next. 14 votes. Who's going to get him? Number 1, Ford. He's going to add 14 more. And would you believe he's still in 3rd place? Next, let's go to Delaware. That's going to be Biden's home state. Can he win it? No, that's going to go to Al Gore, number 6. Next, Maryland has 10 more votes. Here's the spin. Number 8, Biden, going to get 10 more. Washington, D.C. is next, 3 votes. Here comes the spin. We've got a 2, and that's going to Nelson Rockefeller. We've got 2 states left, Pennsylvania and Virginia. First is PA, it has 19 votes. Mondale trails Cheney by 11. He's got to win one of these 2 states. A lot of times there is excitement here at the very end, but there's no guarantees. Mondale looking for a 3. Let's do the spin. That is a 7. That is going to go to Dick Cheney. So that pretty much seals the deal. Cheney gets 19 more. And now there's no way Mondale can catch him on Virginia. But we've got to do the spin anyway. 13 votes. Here it is. Last spin in round 3. And it's going to go to Rockefeller, number 2. So that's it. We've got the winner, George H.W. Bush, with an even 100. Second place is Dan Quayle with 93. Gerald Ford in third with 88. At the bottom this time is number 3, Walter Mondale with 24. Mondale did win a number of states. They all just had less than 10 electoral votes. So that's just the way it goes sometimes. You get hot at the wrong time, you might be going home anyway. Meanwhile, second from the bottom, we've got a tie between Al Gore and Dick Cheney with 54. So for a while, it was exciting there with Ford, who was the last one in with Texas. Then it was back and forth with Quayle. Then Bush came out of nowhere and won the whole thing. But take a look at this map. I'm sure you could find some wacky patterns. But that's going to be it for round 3. Everybody moving on except Mondale. Apologies if you had him going all the way. But let me know in the comments, what did you think of round 3? Is your pick still in it? Hopefully you had a nice time. Let me know down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to help support the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.